time, weather, and...
Hello and welcome to Driving with Todd. And I'm Todd. I'm going to read a comment that I received from my reaction to Genesis doing the song Dancing with the Moonlit Night. The YouTuber that makes the comment goes by the name of RK41 Gator. RK41 Gator writes this: for Gabriel's best vocals, go on to the next one, or the next album. That album is The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, which is a double album filled with magnificent music. So I read that and I went, I've never heard the album The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. I started listening to Genesis early, then gave up on them, and then later on. So I've missed a lot of these middle albums. So I thought, let's do a track off that album. So like I normally do, I go to Wikipedia because I want to learn something about the album. And they have a whole page. I mean, it is a whole page of information about this album. I mean, there is just a lot of information. But it turns out it's the sixth studio album by Genesis. It's a double album, as RK41 had mentioned. And it scored pretty high on the album chart in the UK. It got to number 10. It peaked at number 10 in the UK. In the US, it got to number 41 on Billboard's 200 album chart. Now, this was an album that Peter Gabriel wanted to make as a concept album, which means that all the songs work together to tell a story. The story is going to be about a gentleman by the name of Rael. He's a Puerto Rican youth from New York City that goes on a self-discovery journey. When the album was released, it had mixed critical acclaim, but now is kind of a cult album for the group Genesis. I didn't know what song to do, so I'm just going to start with the first track. And that doesn't mean I'm going to do every track, but I'm just going to do the first track and see where it goes from there. Maybe I'll get other recommendations for songs from this album. The first track happens to be The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. So let's get to it, hear what it sounds like. Like I said, I've never heard this album, so this will be new to me. That beginning. That is a sweet beginning. Nice piano intro. I really like that piano intro. And then it had like some other instruments in there. Sound like almost I don't know, like chimes. There was some chimes going on in there. And then there was like a buzzing. And now I don't know if that was like a cello or what, but it sounded almost like a bee buzzing in my ear. That sounded kind of cool. And all of a sudden, bang, the drums come in, and bang, it goes again. And then Peter Gabriel starts singing. And I really like his voice right in the beginning here. I mean, that is really sweet sounding. So far, I really like what I hear. Let's take it back a little bit and start her up.
Sleeping
listen to that bass in there. Wow, that bass guitar. Oh, it is just driving this song. I mean, it is incredible. And then that piano's still in there. I love that piano. And Peter Gabriel's voice is really good on here. I mean, it's fluctuating with that bass guitar. Wow, and the drumming is just real heavy and right to the point. Really, really dynamite song so far. Let's keep on going.
Broadway street scene finds a focus in its face. Somehow it's lying there, brings a stillness to the air. Though man-made light at night is very bright, there's no whitewash victim as the neons dim to the code of white. He's gone, he's forgotten what he did, and the land lies down on Broadway.
Oh, I love that transition where he sings Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, and then he starts singing. It slows down. The whole sound of the song just changes. It slows down and he starts singing a different verse after, he kind of blended it. It almost segued. And then I thought I heard a harp in there. It sounded like there was a harp in there. There's some sort of other keyboard, some synthesizer. But I really liked that transition where it really slowed down. Then he came back into the refrain. Gabriel came back into the refrain and starts singing The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. And Phil Collins just comes in with the drums. And the bass is just boom, 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 boom. It was like, wow. Wow, what a change up. Really like this. This is really a good song. Let's take it back and hear some more.
He's gone, he's forgotten what he did, and the land lies down on Broadway. Suzanne tired, her work all done, thinks money, be on
Wow, that was kind of an interesting song. I really like that. That's not what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting. Haven't heard Genesis in a while. I haven't done a Genesis reaction in quite a while. But this is really, really good. That transition part that I stopped and talked about, when I'm listening to that, though, it sounded to me like a little bit of Yes. That sounded like, okay, that's a transition that sounds like Yes. And then they come back in, and they're just so funky on this song. I mean, this is the funkiest I've ever heard Genesis from at least early Genesis. That bass, I don't know what was domineering more, that bass guitar or the drums. I mean, they were just wicked in this song. I think they helped make this song, especially the drums, the way they mixed them. I mean, they're just kind of like going around your head, and the bass guitar was just boom, 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 just right in your head too. Awesome. And I think Peter Gabriel's voice on this was really, really good. I mean, Peter Gabriel has kind of a neat voice, but it's not like I don't know, like a singing voice. It's more of a out there type voice. But this was really good the way he sang this, and I like the segues where they transitioned from like the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, and then they transitioned right into the next verse. That was cool as well. Song is excellent. I mean, this is really a good song, and I'm assuming the rest of the album is just as good. I'm hoping it is at least. And then I had read that when they started recording it, a lot of these songs that they recorded were just jam sessions. They kind of jammed in the studio, and then they, mixed it and then added lyrics to the songs. So it's kind of almost the songs are kind of built from just putting thoughts together and playing their instruments, which is kind of cool. That's what they did for this song. They got it right because this was really cool. From the piano beginning to the bass and drum at the end. This whole thing was great. The other thing was kind of fun too is at the end, they're singing On Broadway. The song On Broadway, and a lot of artists have done that. George Benson made a big hit of that song. Just kind of cool that they did that at the end of the song as well. On Broadway. So, this is The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Song by Genesis, also from the album, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button. I know I liked it. I thought it was really cool. If you have any comments about Genesis, the song, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, or the album, put in the comments below. That'd also be really cool. Now, I'm going to take the link to this video, which was a lyric video, so if you want to read the lyrics, there they are. They're right in front of you. I'm going to take the link to this video and put in my notes below. So if you want to see it again, just hit that link. Boom, it opens up. You get to watch the whole thing. I don't stop it. It's from beginning to end. Also, I'm going to put a link to the channel that uploaded this video. If you want to check out that channel, they may have some other really cool stuff out there. Pick on that link. Their channel will open up. You can check out what else they have. Maybe even subscribe to that channel. Talking about subscribing, have you subscribed to Driving with Todd? If you haven't, let's do it right now. If you have my video open, which I'm hoping you still do, go below the video, hit subscribe, you're done. If you go over here, ring the bell, you'll get updates to my latest videos. I really appreciate getting that comment because that comment had just come in. I haven't done a Genesis reaction in a long time, and it just tipped me off and said, yeah, let's go and do something off this album. I've never heard the album, and let me tell you, I wasn't disappointed. Put a huge smile on my face. I'm hoping to put a big smile on your face, and peace out, baby.